Joseph Carter was polishing his class ring when the band struck up Stand By Me, and halfway into the slow dance his legs tingled, vision blurred, and his pulse sputtered like a weak car battery. Paramedics rushed over. "Probably your heart," they said. But the EKG came back squeaky clean, leaving Joseph and his wife Linda staring at each other, frightened and confused. What the monitors missed was a silent traffic jam in hair-thin vessels that feed everything from his fingertips to the private confidence Linda still counted on after 50 years of marriage. That night Joseph Googled cold hands after 60 and discovered he wasn't alone. Millions of American men pass stress tests while their microcirculation quietly stalls first in toes, then in the organ south of the belt buckle. The true wake-up call wasn't the ambulance siren. It was realizing the fix might be as simple as the produce aisle he'd walked past on the way to reunion snacks. Keep watching, because in the next few minutes you'll meet the nutrition scientist who showed Joseph 4 everyday fruits that rebooted his blood flow faster than his old V8 ever peeled out of the school parking lot. Most men over 60 can jog past the treadmill stress test with flying colors while tiny capillaries in their feet, and in that discreet cylinder of confidence, are already running on half pressure. Cold fingers, fading morning salute, and that extra breath on the stairs are early smoke signals doctors rarely mention, because standard checkups chase clogged highways, not stalled side streets. A 2024 Johns Hopkins review found microcirculation drops up to 30% between ages 55 and 70 even when cholesterol, weight, and blood sugar look textbook perfect. Less flow means less nitric oxide, the molecule that tells vessels to widen, so muscles tire faster, memory fogs, and intimate responsiveness can feel like a phone on one bar of signal. Worse, acidic snacks, late-night cola, and everyday stress tighten those vessels like a zip tie, turning what should be a gentle pulse into a sluggish trickle. That hidden slowdown explains why Joseph's EKG was spotless while his dance floor stamina and private spark both dimmed within the same year. Type fruit flow in the comments if any of these signs ring a bell. Your response helps other guys see they're not alone and tells YouTube this topic matters. Stick around, because up next you'll meet Dr. Lila Grant, the nutrition scientist who mapped a produce aisle shortcut powerful enough to reopen those capillaries without a single prescription pill. Dr. Lila Grant strides into frame, a Harvard-trained nutrition scientist who's logged 30 years in VA hospitals studying why some 80-year-old vets still sprint upstairs while others struggle to tie their shoes. She's poured over 6,000 ultrasound scans and noticed a pattern doctors miss. Seniors who eat specific phytonutrient-dense fruits show wider capillaries and steadier southern responsiveness, even when their labs look identical to their peers. Grant's lab proved that certain pigments, punicalagins, citrulline, anthocyanins, switch on nitric oxide synthase in under 90 minutes, reopening vessels from the temples to the tiniest network that decides whether a goodnight kiss becomes a good morning grin. She calls it color therapy for circulation, and her peer-reviewed study in the American Journal of Geriatric Cardiology showed a 24% microflow boost with nothing more exotic than supermarket produce. Joseph heard her lecture online, swapped his nightly ice cream for a bowl of ruby seeds and melon cubes, and within 10 days noticed his hands felt warm while holding Linda's during evening TV. Stick with us, because in the next chapter Dr. Grant reveals the first 2 fruits on her 4-item shortlist, and why one of them doubles as nature's sweetest pre-workout for the heart and the heartthrob. Pomegranate is first on Dr. Grant's list because its crimson seeds bathe artery walls in punicalagins, antioxidants proven to raise nitric oxide levels by 22% and widen the vessels that warm your fingertips, and the discreet hydraulic chamber you'd rather not leave to chance. She recommends half a cup of fresh arrows or 8 ounces of unsweetened juice at breakfast. Within 90 minutes ultrasound shows capillaries relaxing like garden hoses released from a kink, and most men report a gentle morning readiness they haven't felt since high-speed dial-up. Fruit number 2 is watermelon, nature's sweetest pre-workout. A single wedge delivers more L-citrulline than some sports supplements, converting inside your body to L-arginine, the direct fuel for nitric oxide synthase. Dr. Grant's study had seniors blend 2 cups of chilled watermelon into a smoothie 30 minutes before their afternoon walk, and blood flow velocity in the calf, and yes, in the more private network, jumped 11% by the time they laced up their sneakers. Quick safety note: Skip bottled watermelon drinks loaded with corn syrup, because extra sugar stiffens arteries. Stick to real fruit you slice yourself or buy pre-cut from the produce cooler. Hit seed power in the comments if you're ready to add these two red giants to tomorrow's menu, and stay tuned. Next we'll dive into a blue handful and a grapefruit, half that together keep your microvessels as springy as they were at 45. Blue may be the color of calm, but blueberries act like high-octane fuel for aging arteries, packing anthocyanins that seal microscopic leaks and boost endothelial nitric oxide by 12% after a single cup. Dr. Grant's volunteers replaced their evening cookie with a heaping handful of frozen blues, and Doppler scans showed smoother flow through calf capillaries, plus a quiet return of that responsive confidence many thought was gone for good. She advises 1 cup daily, fresh or frozen, stirred into yogurt or poured straight from the bag. Skip sugary muffin versions, because added flour and fat cancel the vascular lift. Fruit 4 arrives with both promise and a caution tag: ruby red grapefruit. Half a fruit before breakfast thins sluggish blood and delivers naringin, a compound that relaxes vessel walls and keeps the intimate network primed without stimulating blood sugar spikes. Yet grapefruit also blocks an enzyme that clears certain statins and blood pressure drugs, so if you're on medication, check your prescription label or talk to your pharmacist before squeezing that juice. For the rest of us, a chilled half grapefruit sprinkled with a pinch of cinnamon, not sugar, can brighten morning flow. Joseph calls it his sunrise tune-up. Quick recap: pomegranate and watermelon open the pipes, blueberries patch and polish them, grapefruit keeps the river running, but only when it plays nicely with your meds. Type Berry Bright in the comments if you're ready to try this 4-fruit rotation, and stick around. Next we reveal how Joseph combined these colors into a 2-minute kitchen ritual that powered his anniversary getaway without a single pill. Overdoing the good stuff can backfire, so before you dump a blender full of fruit into every meal, hit the brakes for 1 minute. Too much natural sugar in one sitting can spike blood glucose, stiffen vessels, and leave your southern circuitry as sluggish as before. Exactly what we're trying to fix. Dr. Grant's rule is simple: 1 color per eating window, spread through the day. Red at breakfast, pink at lunch, blue in the afternoon, ruby at dawn, so your arteries ride a gentle wave instead of a glucose tsunami. If you take statins, calcium channel blockers, or ED meds, grapefruit deserves a quick pharmacy check. Better safe now than sorry when the prescription bottle warns avoid citrus in tiny print. Diabetics should pair each fruit with a handful of raw nuts or a protein shake. Fiber and protein slow the sugar rush and keep nitric oxide climbing without the blood sugar roller coaster. Wash produce well or choose organic when possible, because pesticide residues can irritate the very endothelial lining we're trying to heal. Skip store-bought juices, cocktails, and muffins marketed as fruit-flavored. Their added fructose locks capillaries tighter than a zip tie and cancels the anthocyanin boost in seconds. Ready to dial in your own rotation? Type color code below, and I'll pin Dr. Grant's printable chart showing exact portions, best timing, and the meds that need a grapefruit timeout. Stay tuned. Next you'll see how Joseph used that chart for 30 days and walked into his golden anniversary weekend with warmer hands, clearer mind, and a discreet confidence that left Linda beaming. Joseph printed Dr. Grant's color code chart, taped it to the fridge, and set 3 alarms named red, pink, blue. Day 1 he started with pomegranate arrows over steel-cut oats, watermelon cube snack at lunch, blueberries after dinner, grapefruit half before bed. Simple, no apps, no counting macros. By the end of week 1 his fingers stayed warm through evening news, and he noticed fewer "where did I put my keys" moments. Week 2 the stairs stopped stealing his breath, and a certain morning reflex, quiet for months, returned just in time to make Linda blush. Week 3 Doppler at Dr. Grant's clinic showed microflow up 18%, resting heart rate down 6 beats, and nitric oxide metabolites nearly doubled, results usually reserved for prescription patches. That Friday, on their golden anniversary getaway, Joseph walked the beach at sunset without shoe prints wobbling, then surprised Linda with a dance that ended in laughter instead of dizziness. He credits one rule: never miss a color, even packing a travel cooler of fruit cups for the road so the downstairs hydraulics wouldn't miss their cue. If you want the same 30-day roadmap, smash subscribe, ring the bell, and drop fruit fix in the comments. I'll pin the printable chart that turned Joseph's reunion scare into a second honeymoon. Your arteries don't read calendars. They respond to what you feed them today, not to how many birthdays you've stacked up. Joseph's story proves it. 30 days of color-coded fruit turned a reunion scare into sunset dances and a discreet confidence Linda calls better than prom night. Imagine greeting the mirror with warm hands, sharp focus, and a quiet pulse of readiness in the place that writes love letters without words. All it takes is one bowl, 3 alarms, and a promise you'll never skip a color, even on road trips and holiday buffets. So here's the challenge. Print the chart, post it on your fridge, and give your body 21 straight days to show you age is negotiable. Drop "I'm committed" in the comments, hit subscribe, and ring that bell. Dr. Grant and I will reply with the PDF, weekly check-ins, and bonus recipes that keep sugar low and nitric oxide high. Because the best years aren't behind you, they're waiting in the produce aisle, priced by the pound and ready to pump life through every vessel, including the one you'd rather not leave to chance. Take the first bite today, and let your circulation, and your story, flow wide open.